We've talked before about the debunked conspiracy theory that Michelle Obama will replace Joe Biden on the 2024 Democratic presidential ticket. When Vivek Ramaswamy brought this up, it was mentioned to him by me that Michelle has said she's not running. She's not interested. And Vivek said, well, it may not even be up to her, which is a really weird thing to say. This is a fascinating clip. Fox News host Stuart Varney interviewed political strategist from the Republican side, Karl Rove. And Karl Rove immediately shot down the idea of Michelle Obama. Now, interestingly, in the clip we're about to watch, Karl Rove says, I do think Joe Biden won't be the nominee. It's just that the Michelle Obama piece is a baseless conspiracy theory. Check this out. This is interesting.
Well, can you deal with this quickly? I keep hearing that Michelle Obama will be shifted into the... No, you're shaking your head. It's not going to happen?
No, look. She hates politics. Read her autobiography. She didn't want her husband to run for the state senate. She didn't want him to run for the president. She is not a political animal. And besides, look, Barack Obama was my charge at the White House. I dealt with him for 3 years. He's a smart guy. He would know that if Michelle Obama woke up tomorrow and said, you know what, I've decided after a life of hating politics, I want to be the vice presidential running mate or run for president, people would say, you know what, that's Barack trying to get a third term as president, and they wouldn't go for it. But the starting point is she hates politics. This is a weird obsession of the conspiratorial right, and it's just lunacy, pure lunacy. I had to deal with this in 2020.
Folks, this is a Republican saying this.
When this was running through the President Trump's reelection campaign, they thought somehow or another Biden was going to be pushed aside by Obama. Andrew Cuomo was going to be the Democratic candidate, and his running mate was going to be Michelle Obama. And you know, I told the Trump people, including the president himself, this is sheer utter lunacy. Starting with the fact she hates politics. Period. She loves the life she's got.
So we know exactly where you stand, Karl Rove, and thanks for sharing that with us emphatically. We like that.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thanks, Karl. See you later.
Yeah, Stuart just super impressed with how emphatic there Karl Rove was. Listen, Michelle Obama said she's not running. There's no evidence she's running. There's no evidence that anyone can push Biden aside at this point in time. There is, of course, the question of when you have an 80-year-old and a nearly 80-year-old running, there is some reality about life expectancy, and that is not any different for Biden than it is for Trump. Trump just a little bit younger, but certainly far less healthy when it comes to his physical health. That's a real and legitimate story. There's a real and legitimate story about when does the Democratic Party move on to what would be the next generation? And it's funny when people say we need to move to the next generation, which is Bernie, who's even older than Biden, and Elizabeth Warren. It's like, that's not the next generation. Next generation would mean younger people, 60 or younger, at least you would think. That's a perfectly reasonable question. What would happen if, for whatever reason, Joe Biden were unable to be on the ticket? Well, that's a reasonable question to ask. You always want a backup plan. But the Michelle Obama thing, it really has to stop. And I will mention one other thing about the Michelle Obama component. Michelle Obama should be someone that Republicans would love. And what I mean by that is she embodies many of the values conservatives want. Now, I get it. She's on the left. She's pro-choice, and her views on there are certain issues on which she's not. But culturally, unless you believe that they're overt racists because she's black, and there are some overt racists on the right, she understands and agrees with the importance of family and two-parent households, the way in which she talks about raising kids and her personal religion. A lot of this stuff should resonate with Republicans. Like, Republicans should like Michelle Obama, but of course they don't, I guess, because you tell me why it is that they don't like her. Is it as simple as she's a Democrat, or is it something else? But to the extent Karl Rove is being direct here about these are right-wing conspiracy theorists, Michelle Obama's not running, good for him for saying it on Fox News. Whether the Fox News audience listens to Karl Rove, I don't know. Trump and others now call Karl Rove a rhino, a Republican in name only. But hey, listen, he's saying it on Fox News, and that's a good thing. Breaking a deeply ingrained habit is one of the toughest things to do. Our sponsor, Fume, can make it easier. Not everything in a bad habit is wrong. So instead of a drastic, uncomfortable change, remove the bad from the habit. And that's, quite frankly, what Fume helps you do. Fume is an innovative, award-winning device that delivers flavored air. That's it. There's no vapor. There's no nicotine, no electronics. It's just delicious flavored air delivered by the cylindrical Fume device that fits in the palm of your hand. It comes in tasty, refillable flavors like raspberry lemon, orange vanilla, grapefruit crisp mint. The Fume device goes in your pocket. You can carry it around. It has movable parts and magnets, so if you're fidgeting or want to, it's great for that, and it's just a useful thing to break bad habits. And it provides that perfectly satisfying hand-to-mouth mechanic that many people love. Don't judge Fume until you've tried it. They have helped countless people make positive changes, and you could be next. Head over to tryfume.com and use code PACMAN to save 10% when you get the Journey Pack, which comes with the device and several flavors to try. The link is down below.